Hello Stampers. So this is Pat from Pat's Card Corner. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And here, oh, I gotta turn that sound off. Okay. So I hope you will join me tonight. If you're here, just hop on, say hi. I've got a fun card for us to do, so it's kind of got quite a few things to it, so I'm just going to jump right in. So first I am going to do a tiny little announcement. Most of you know, or if you've been following Stampin' Up, or if you follow other people Stampin' Up, you'll know that we have a new catalog that is coming out in May. And beginning this Wednesday, which was yesterday, Stampin' Up! Posted a list of all the items that they call last chance. Those are items that are retiring. Some of them that are on the list, hey Carol, are some of the items on the list are retiring as a bundle, which means right now they're 10% off in the current catalogs, but in the new catalog they will still be there, but they won't be bundled, so you will not be able to save the extra 10%. So I am going to put the list on my blog, so you can check it out tomorrow. I haven't put it on yet today at www.jumpingintostamping.com. It'll probably make my Facebook page hopefully tomorrow also. So just a quick announcement. So a couple of things that I'm using tonight are retiring, and some of them are my favorite things, so that's why I'm using them. One of them is this designer series paper. This is just a teeny piece of what is the hand pen paper. This paper will be retiring, so if you really like it, it's actually one of my favorites paper, and you might want to jump over and get it. So I am going to use the Color and Contour stamp set tonight. I am using this little flower right here. You can use any, if you're stamping with me, you can use any flower you want. I chose this one. It's long and narrow because what we're stamping on is long and narrow. And I'm also using the sentiment that says thank you for everything because, you know, we always need thank you cards. So I am using that stamp set. And these are all of the supplies that you're going to need. So we are making what I call a mini Slimline card. So you might have seen regular Slimline cards, which are actually 8.5 inches wide or 7 inches wide. They're pretty long. Ours is like a little mini version of that. It's smaller than our regular cards, but it's bigger than our note cards, so a little bit different. So we are going to make a card, and we're going to make an envelope to put it in because this card will not fit in our standard A2 size envelopes. So we're going to make an envelope, and it's quick and easy, so not a big deal. So what you're going to need to make the envelope is a piece of regular Whisper White cardstock. You can also use designer series paper if you want yours to be colorful. You could use the same paper that matches your other piece of DSP, but for tonight, only because it's a little bit easier to see where the score lines are, I am using a piece of just regular, I said Whisper White, it's basic white cardstock. So this piece is 8.5 by 7 3/4. So this is going to make our envelope, and we are going to do a little bit of scoring on this, but we're going to make the card first and then we're going to do the envelope. So I'm just going to sit this right here for the moment. For the card, we are going to need a piece of basic white thick cardstock, which is a little bit thicker than the regular. This piece is 6.5 by 6 1/4. You will need a piece of designer series paper. You can choose any paper you want. Like I said, I chose the hand pen. This piece, I'm using this side, is 2 7/8 by 5 7/8. And then you will need some cardstock that matches your paper. I chose Misty Moonlight. This color is retiring. It's one of the retiring in colors. So if you like these in colors, you might want to get that too. Hi, Brenda. Nice to see you. So then we need 2 pieces of this. One piece, I'm going to put it over here, is 3 inches by 6 inches. One piece is 2 1/8 by 5. And then you will also need another piece of basic white, and we are going to do a little bit of stamping on this too. And this piece is 2 by 4 7/8. So I'm going to put that over here. And because this is a white background card, you don't need an inside piece. Like if you, your card was, my card actually, if you're making your card with different cardstock, you can use colored stock. If you did that, you would need a piece to go on the inside so that you could write and be able to see it. And that piece would be 3 by 6. For this card, it's optional because the card is white already. I just like to put it in just because it looks good, so, or it makes it look fancy. And you also need a little bit of ribbon that coordinates with your paper. So I'm going to leave this right here just for a second in case you want to take a screenshot or a picture so you know what the sizes are, and then we're going to get started. So there we go. Whoops, hope you can see that. Okay, so I'm going to move this piece, which is our envelope piece, out of the way because we're going to do that later. And these are the pieces that we need for our card. So I'm just going to take my little, I actually stamped on this one. That's why I had to hide it with my little sticky note. So hope everybody is doing well. And thanks, Carol and Brenda, for joining me tonight. And hopefully I'll get some of my other regulars. I haven't been on for a while. Just too many things happening in my life. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is do just a teeny bit of scoring. As I get my trimmer out here. And that is with this piece. This piece is 6 1/2 by 6 1/4. So you need to find the longer side. So I actually have to pull this out a little bit so I know which side's longer, because we're scoring on the long side. So this is 6 and, what did I say, 6 1/4? Yeah, 6 1/2 by 6 1/4. So we need the 6 1/2 side, which is this one. So I'm going to put it, so this is the 6 1/2 side, so that's the longer side, and we're going to score this at 3 1/4. So just make sure you have your long side, and then we're going to score this at 3 1/4, which is in half. So that's all we're going to do with this. You can put your trimmer away for the moment. You will need it again for when we do the envelope. So I'm just going to fold this in half and crease it really good with my bone folder. And that's going to be the size of our card. Okay. Hey, Meg and Laura and Louise. Ooh, somebody is where it's warm, Daytona Beach. I think Meg is in Florida too, so 2 of you. So yeah, I've missed all you guys too. So okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to take these 2 pieces and glue them together. So I'm going to do that. Oh, the other thing you might need, if you don't want to stamp directly onto your piece of white there, is you'll need a scrap piece of paper. So I'm just going to put that right on there. And then this piece is going to go right on our card front. Make sure I got that straight. Yes, I do. And then this piece is going to go right onto the front of our card, just like that. So I'm just going to put a little glue on the back. And I like to use glue because I can slide it around in case I don't get it in the right spot. Hi, Laura. I know, Slimline cards are fun, and mini Slimlines, I discovered them and I thought, oh, I love them. Because it's just a little bit different, but there's still plenty of room to write, and they're just kind of fun. All right, so that's that part of our card. This piece we're going to do a little stamping on, and that piece is going to go right here. I actually, and I think I told you, I'm using this stamp set, Color and Contour, and I use this little thank you. I stamped this in Misty Moonlight. I don't know how I did this. Maybe when I was making my other card. I've already stamped it already. How about that for magic? So you want to stamp your sentiment on the bottom. So I did that. So we're pretending that I just stamped it, even when I didn't. All right, and then we are stamping this little flower right here. I'm actually going to stamp it on a scrap piece somewhere. That I have a scrap piece? Oh, my scrap piece is missing. Oh, there we go. That's a scrap piece. And I'm going to stamp this in Memento Black. You do need a bigger size block to put this on. This is a, what size are we? This is an E-size block because it's just a little bit too wide for our other one. So I'm just going to kind of tap everywhere, make sure I have it in the good spot. And if you want to stamp directly on yours, you can. I'm actually going to cut this out with the dies that go with this. So that's why I have done it on a separate piece. Also in this set, there is a little stamp right here, and that will color your 3 flowers all at one time. So I am going to stamp those, and it's one piece that'll do all 3. And this is Pale Papaya. And I'm going to put my black away before I stick my hand in it. And this is Pale Papaya, so it's the color of these. So even though this paper is hand penned, these little flowers I thought looked a lot like these little flowers, and that's why I used, even though there is a hand penned stamp set that goes with the paper, that's why I chose this stamp set, because I thought the flowers looked a lot alike. So let me do that again. I have to make sure I get them in the right spot. There is a little, I don't know if you can see it, there is a little like bud at the top, so you can tell the little bud's right there, so that's going to be the top. And this is kind of, it doesn't go exactly in the spot, it's kind of artsy, I guess, or as my husband would call it, artsy fartsy, because it's not exactly right there. There is no stamp for the little leaves, but I like to kind of give them a little color. So I have one of our stamping blends, which is Just Jade, which is one of the colors here. This color is also one of the retiring colors. So, and I'm just going to kind of give them a little bit of color, just because I can. And this one up here, I just think it looks better with a little bit of color on it. Okay. So there is a set of dies that goes with this stamp set, and I love it because it's called Scallop Contours, because it has all these fun scalloped frames, I guess you'd call them, but it also has a couple dies for the flowers, and this is one of them, and it's going to go on just like that. I am going to use our little mini Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine real quick so I can cut that out. This machine is part of the sale that they are having right now. So this little machine is normally, it's 20% off. So it's normally $60 and you get 20% off. So it's a great deal. And you can cut a lot of dies with this stamp set. Not sure if you can see that. Hopefully I got it in the right spot. Nope, I didn't. I've got to move that over. I don't want to cut my stem off. There we go. Just going to hold on and cut it through, and there we go. I don't know if anybody else has one of these, but I love it. It's great if you travel around, and there's my little cutout piece. You can see it, cut it right out. I'm going to put that over with my dies so I don't lose it. Move this out of the way. And this little thing is going to go right here. Like I said, you could stamp on there. I just wanted it to have a little bit more depth to it, so I'm going to put it there. This piece, our white piece that we stamped on, is going on one of our cardstock pieces, so I'm just going to glue that together. I know I love these papers. and they're retiring, so it's already on my list to purchase, and I probably need to do that before they go away. So, add a little something there, and we're just going to put that right on there, just like that. Good. And I'm actually going to put this on dimensionals as soon as I find them. They're right here. Because I like making things pop up a little bit. So, and you'll probably notice, where my scissors go, that part of this is very skinny, like the little leaves, so I'm actually going to cut one of these in half. You can also just cut, and I'm going to do that in a second, right as soon as I get it on here. There we go. And whoops, where'd it go? Oh, it stuck to my hand. There we go. Okay, I am going to put a little piece right here, and how I'm going to do that is on my thing. I'm just going to cut a real tiny, very skinny, because you know this is sticky too. A real skinny little piece, and that's going to go on the stem. That'll just kind of keep it from flopping around a little bit. So this is the sticky side. Peel that off. Whoop, it peeled off the other side. All right. This can be kind of tricky. Actually, now both sides are peeled off. There we go. There we go. It's right on the little stem. So now I just have to take all the backs off my other little pieces. And then we're going to stick that on there. We're going to tie a little bow with this piece of ribbon that's sitting on my desk. That is pale papaya ribbon. I think they call it open weave ribbon. I really like it because it's very sheer, it's very light, and so I'm just going to put that right there. We're going to tie a little bow here with this ribbon. And this ribbon, by the way, is carrying over, in case anybody is wondering. It will be in the new catalog, because I've seen the new catalog and I know it's in there. And it's not on the retiring list. That is always a clue that if it's not on the retiring list, chances are that it will still show up in the regular catalog for next year, which will be out May 3rd, I believe. So I'm just going to put that on with a little glue dot. So, and that's just going to go right there. And then this is going to go on the front of our card, just like that. I am going to put it on dimensionals. You can just glue it down, but you know, I'm dimensional happy, just like I'm ribbon happy. I don't make very many cards that don't have ribbon. I don't know why. I just kind of like it. So there are some ribbons that are retiring that I like, so guess what? They're on my list. So actually I'm going to turn it this way so I can kind of, you're just going to center it on the front of your card, just like that. And there's your card. Like I said, you can put an extra piece on the inside, and I do have one of those right here. This piece is 3x6. You can stamp another flower on the inside if you want, or just a little bit at the bottom. That's always fun too. So, actually, let's do that while we have our stuff out. I'm just going to just stamp a tiny little one at the bottom. Let me get my black ink back out. We're just going to stamp a little bit of the flower here. Just going to put it right here at the bottom. There we go. Doesn't matter if it's off the paper or if it's not off the paper. And then we're just going to give it a little color with our pale papaya ink. And we go. Now you're ready to put that on the inside of your card and write your message. So I'm just going to flip this over. It was kind of an impromptu thing. I wasn't planning on doing that, but you know, it was just speaking to me. I'm sure you probably do that too when you're making things for yourself. It just needed something on the inside, something pretty. There we go. Got something there. So there's your card. Okay, but we need an envelope. So we're going to go back and get our piece of 8.5 by 7 3/4. This is the 8.5. This is the 7 3/4. And we're going to do a little scoring. And this is going to make a little envelope, a skinny envelope. I guess some people call them like banker's envelopes because it's long and skinny. There's a flap at the top. So we want 8.5 by 7 3/4, and we're going to score on the long side first. So we're going to score that at 1 inch. So I'm going to put it on here at 1 inch. I do have my cutting blade out of the way. We're just going to score it at 1 inch, and then we're going to score it at 7 3/4. So I'm going to put this out. 7 3/4 is right there. And we're just going to score again. Okay, now we're going to turn it so that we're going to score on the short side, and we're going to score on the short side at 1 7/8. So this is 2, and then two little bars, so 1 7/8. We're going to score it there. Don't cut. Almost grabbed my cutting blade. 1 7/8, and we're going to score at 5 3/8. I have to look at my directions to see, because I can't remember that off the top of my head. So this is 5 1/2. I'm going to back it up 2, so it's 5 3/8. And we're just going to do one more. This is the last piece we're going to score. Okay. Okay, Laura, I'm glad you got your stuff done. I'm putting this away, so we're all ready. We need just to do a little bit of cutting. So what we're going to cut, now if you can, let me fold on the fold lines first, because it'll be easier for you to see. So we're just going to fold it on all the score lines. It'll be easier for you to see where we're going to cut. Also, you can use a corner rounder on this or our detailed trio to round the corners on it when we're done. So as you can see, we've got 2 things here. So we are going to cut away this little rectangle down here and this one down here. So we're going to leave this one in the middle that is a flap. So we're just going to cut this because we don't need it, and cut this. We're going to cut that away, and then we're also going to cut the one on the other side. And I almost forgot. So when you're cutting, you can see where the little ridge line is. You actually want to cut just above the ridge, because the other piece is going to fold up, and this way the edges won't get in the way. So I'm just going to do a little bit of trimming on over here, because I didn't do that. I forgot to tell myself that, and I forgot to tell you. So, because these are going to fold in, and then this is going to fold up. And by cutting it up a little bit, you don't have, it won't be, you've trimmed it already, so it won't be in the way. All right, then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. On the other end is we're going to trim that, and we're going to, on this piece, we're going to cut right above where the little ridge line is, where you scored it. And then we're going to do the same on this side. We're just going to cut up, and then we're going to cut right above the little ridge line. So having it scored like that makes it very easy to cut. So if you want to make it just look a little bit fancier, you can take this detailed trimmer, and I fold this in, and then, because otherwise the things get in the way. And then you're just going to put it in and press down, and it gives a nice little rounded corner there. And I'm also going to do that on this side, because you want them all to look pretty. And on this side. Here we go. Okay, so this is your envelope. We're going to, this is the bottom flap. This one that's a little bit longer is the top. And whoops, I folded it the wrong way. So it's going to go this way. So if you look at this, one side is a little bit wider than the other. So this is going to go in first, and we're going to put some tear and tape on the edge of this, and then it's going to go in. So this is just about in the center. Might not be exact, but you know, it's close. I forgot my tear and tape. I told you to bring it, and then I forgot my own. Oops. And I know why I forgot my own, because I have to get a new one. Alright. I've been making some of these, so I used up all my tear and tape, so I have to go get a new roll. Alright. So we're going to put this tear, so remember, this is the skinnier side. We're going to put the tear and tape right on the edge, all the way down. Okay. We also need to put tear and tape on the smaller flap. So this is the one that has the edge on it. We also need to put some on this flap, because this is the bottom of our envelope, and if we don't seal this up, then our envelope will come apart, which would not, or our card would just slide right out the bottom. So I just put a little bit on all of the corners there, and now we're ready to put our, oh wait, one more. You are going to want to put a piece of tear and tape on here. You are not going to take it off until you're ready to seal the envelope. So, because this is going to close your envelope shut. So I just put it down just a little bit. Just like that. So you do have a piece there so you can seal your envelope. So one little piece on the larger flap, one down the side of the skinnier flap, and then all three sides of this. So first we're going to fold this in. We're going to take that off, fold it over, press it down, and then this is going to go up just like that. And I'm going to take this tear, the covering off of that tear and tape. Just going to, whoops, get out of the way. Just going to fold that up, and then this is your envelope. If you want to decorate it, you can stamp something right here, and it would look very nice. Maybe another little flower or something. But your card, where's my card? There you go. Will slide right inside, and when you're ready, you can close it up, or if you just want to tuck the flap inside, you can do that too. And now it's ready to be mailed. Put your stamp on, and you're all done. Like I said, you can also make these out of designer series paper. Just be careful when you're scoring not to press too hard, because you don't want to have any tears in your paper. And then you can decorate this however you want. You can put a little designer series paper on your flaps if you want. You can stamp on them. Of course, if you're going to stamp on them, take your card out first. You could also stamp on it before you put it together if you wanted to. You know, you could stick a little flower here in the corner, whatever you want. So, oops, my card's upside down. So there you go. One card, one envelope. So I hope you like that, and I hope you'll give it a try. You can use this same pattern, and you can stamp all kinds of stuff. If you want it to go the other way, you can do it this way, and then, you know, stamp this way. But this is, but you have the measurements for the size. So I think the finished size is 3 1/4 by 6 1/4. That's the finished size of your card. So I hope you like it, and I hope you give it a try, and hopefully I will see you next week here. If you want to watch this again, this video will be posted on my YouTube channel, and you can also will be able to find it as soon as I do the post for this, hopefully tomorrow, will be www.jumpingintostamping.com, and you can find this card plus lots of other card ideas that I've done. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. If you want to shop with me, this is my host code. You can choose, there'll be a link to that for shopping with me over on my blog. So I hope you have a great day, a great night, and thanks for joining me again. See you next week.